Make a notebook with me. My buddy Dylan starts by preparing a screen for screen printing. He washes it out so that you have the nice stencil. I cut some fabric and send it off to Dylan. In the studio, Dylan prints them one by one and puts them into a dryer so that the ink sets and is permanent. After he sends it back to me, I cut some book cloth, this time a red one. Together, I will glue them, but I gotta first fill my glue bottle. I do this several times during my gluing run of many sheets. I put the fabric down, mark the areas so I make sure that it's put down in the right position, apply my glue, and brush it on smoothly. After it's nice and complete, I flip it over, make sure that it sticks well, take out any wrinkles, and away we go to cutting each cover. I do these one by one so that I have the artwork perfectly positioned for the final notebook. In my press, I take the stack of all of the covers that were just glued and press them so that they glue together very neatly. Afterwards, I separate them because they kind of stick a little bit together to each other, and we're going back to Dylan, who's making another screen for the decorative end sheets. For this edition, Dylan created a fantastic cityscape using all the elements from the cover designs for a repeating pattern. A bright tan, almost gold ink is printed onto every single rice paper sheet, which Dylan puts to dry in his rack and sends it back to me for cutting into the right size for each notebook. Let's listen to the cut. I collect them all and put them aside so that I can start assembling the notebooks. But first, I have to cut the paper that goes inside. I use 70-pound smooth white sheets, which are printed by my printer, but I still have to cut them myself to size. That sound is also satisfying. I count 12 sheets, which will equal to 48 pages for each notebook, and we begin assembly with a little bit of wax thread. I have a nice guide to cut them to the right size, separating them because they're waxed. And together I take piece by piece the cover, the decorative end sheet, the paper inside, a guide for making holes, and I punch them in with an awl. These are called sewing stations because I take the thread that I just cut and sew through each of these stations to make a pattern that is strong and also beautiful from the outside. After trimming it, I fold each notebook one by one and put them into my press for a couple of hours so that they lay nice and flat. About 8-ish hours later, sometimes more, I take them out, where we bring them into my stack cutter for cutting each side. We start with the top cut, then the bottom, and then the long edge. After they're perfect and neat, I take each notebook and round the corners on this 100-year-old corner rounder. Super satisfying. I put them together in a nice pile so that they don't get ruined as I complete the rest of the packaging. I inspect every single notebook to make sure everything about it is perfect, sign the ones that are good, and then prepare the packaging. For this edition, Dylan designed packaging that matches the design of the notebook, and here I am cutting every single box by hand with a die cutter, and then fold them each before they come to you. Inside each package, I put a little card, a stats card, that shows information about the design, the materials, and the artist. I finished gluing together the box, which is a design that I am extremely proud of. It takes no glue to put together, and when you open it up, it's like a little bit of a gift. I mark every single box so that I know what paper style is inside, and that completes the assembly of the entire notebook. These are just some matching bookmarks that will go out with every single notebook that is ordered for this edition. Thank you for following along.